everyone, and welcome back to another week of Live with Rye Friends on Broadway. Thank you so much for everyone who's here and for those tuning in at home. So great to see you. It's been quite a few weeks, but I'm thrilled to be back. And before we begin, I just want to wish a very happy 6 months to the venue, Broadway Makers Marketplace. We're celebrating 6 months today. Yes, 6 months ago, Broadway Makers Marketplace started here, and they thought it would just be a month. 6 months later, we're here, going stronger than ever. So happy 6 months, and a happy belated birthday to Michael Clarkston, the man behind it all. Before we go on, I just want to give credit to the theme song that you heard, as always. I want to give a shout out to Jeffrey Schmelkin, who's the composer. Round of applause for Jeffrey. And for Jay Brancotta, who wrote the lyrics, and sung by the incredible Alyssa Ray from 2020 American Idol Top 9. Absolutely incredible. And I want to give a shout out to tonight's sponsor, That Golden Girl Show, a puppet parody. They're sponsoring tonight's show and giving away 2 pairs of tickets to an upcoming performance. They're at Theater Row until the end of May, so you definitely don't want to miss that. I'm so thrilled they're sponsoring. Now, as always, I do a little Broadway news before we get started, and there's been some exciting things that's been happening these past few weeks, and I wanted to go over them since it's been about 2 weeks since I saw you. First, we've concluded the wrap-up of the 2021-2022 Broadway season. This past week, we saw a slew of openings that concluded the final wrap-up, and they included POTUS, Mr. Saturday Night, starring Billy Crystal, A Strange Loop, Macbeth, Skin of Our Teeth, and Funny Girl. Macbeth wrapped up on Thursday, making it the final show of the season to open. And Girl from the North Country, which I love, and it's been so, it's underrated. You need to go see it. It's back at the Belasco Theater until June 11th, and then it closes for good. It's based on the music of Bob Dylan. Cannot wait. I have a ticket for Wednesday night, so go see that Girl from the North Country at the Belasco Theater until June 11th. And finally, Adrienne Warren and Josh Henry are presenting the Tony nominations on May 9th, which is super exciting. This is about 2 weeks later than they would have. Because of COVID, they pushed the nominations back. So I'm super excited. I cannot wait until May 9th. And we're all waiting on bated breath to see who's going to get nominated. And then, of course, up into June 12th when we have the nominations. And so with that, I'm very excited to welcome my guest today. She is somebody who I have known for quite a few years. She's also one of the co-founders of this incredible marketplace, Broadway Makers Marketplace. You may have also seen her online as Covering Broadway, because she is the founder of Covering Broadway, which I so beautifully have displayed right here. So please help me welcome my very special guest, the incredible Andrea Kaler. Woo! Hello, my dear. Hello. How are you? Good to be here. Is it on? It's on. Hi. It's good to see you. Good to see you too.
Why do I have my fake voice on? Great. Hi, Ryan. It's really good to see you.
The camera goes on, and we all do. So I got the last name correct, right?
Yes, Andrea.
Got this. I always get so scared with the last names that because I know how it's like. Sometimes do I do it right? So,
sometimes we see things written, and we forget what they're like, how we hear them. So yeah, it's
totally. Well, there we go. Well, it is so great to have you on the show. I interviewed you for my website back in 2019, which was exciting, and that was a print interview. But I don't think I've had you even on my live show, my digital show that I've done. So I am just thrilled that you were able to step in last minute as a thrilling replacement. For those watching, programming-wise, Michael T. Clarkston, who was supposed to be the guest tonight, will be rescheduled for another day. He had some last-minute schedule changes. But so Andrea, you were Coloring Broadway. Tell us a little bit about Coloring Broadway and how it came to be and how it started.
Oh my goodness, do you want the Reader's Digest version or like the whole story? No, really what it is I love theater, but I also love the messages of theater. And what I found myself doing was sitting with like the messages that were resonating with me. And I have a day job, which not a lot of people know about, but I do leadership skills in the corporate world. I work as an executive coach, and I just found myself using these lyrics as references for like self-transformation and other things. And I was like, coloring's really popular. It was back in 2015, 2016. And why not throw some lyrics on a coloring page and put it together, and all of a sudden it became about blending, finding that bridge between musical theater and the lyrics that resonate with you, and then kind of digging a little deeper and going, hey, what do those lyrics mean to me? Do they inspire me? Do they motivate me? Do they make me think about something in myself? And all of those experiences we have in the theater, where we sit, and even in Paradise Square, where I was sitting there just now, because that's where I came. And I was sitting there going, right, like, where do I relate to this? Where do I not relate to this? Why do I relate to it? What is moving me? What isn't moving me? Like, I was fully in the story, watching it and taking it in, but then I could also, like, go, this made me cry. It didn't make me cry. What was it about that? So that's really the backbone to Coloring Broadway. But then we have all of these awesome, like, I think we have like 45 different coloring collections now. And then
I don't know how you keep it all straight.
And then we turned them into, we went from coloring pages, postcards, and note cards, because I want to get a note card from somebody. Handwritten things in the mail are few and far between these days versus all of this snail junk mail that you get. But then we turn them into stickers, and we have some prints, and just, kind of make fun with what we've got, with the lyrics that move us.
Well, I do this with you. I have some of your beautiful designs here. We have the postcards, which is this one is from Dear Evan Hansen. It says "Sincerely Me," and it has some of the writings on here from the lyrics from the show.
Yeah, I myself am strange. I really am. I feel like I should just be a butt
That
all the time. But you have
this
those
is
kids.
And then we have some of your other coloring pages, the smaller ones and the bigger ones. I think it's so fascinating. We took the lyrics, put them on to coloring pages, something that, adult coloring has become so popular in the last, I'd say, 5-7 years. And that the fact that we took the music of Broadway on there, it's just it's not such a hit.
It has been a hit. Coloring had a resurgence because I think people needed that connection with creativity. But coloring also has a thing, despite Michael, who doesn't, I know he doesn't like coloring, but coloring has a connection or kinesthetic creative movement helps us calm our brains. And I think, 5 or 6 years ago, when it became kind of a new resurgence, people discovered this thing. We spend so much time in digital distraction. We spend so much time scrolling and getting information and interacting, but without human contact, that it's time for our brains need time to slow down. And we don't get that unless we purposefully plan it or we do an activity that requires our brain to focus. And coloring is one of those activities. If you knit, you notice. If you garden, even cleaning the house can be this way. You put on something to sing, you sing around, all of a sudden it's been 2 hours and your house is clean and it's great, but it didn't feel like that. So coloring kind of has that same thing. You can get lost in the task, and what it does is it occupies your monkey mind brain, but it leaves your regular thinking brain, and that gives you space to start. It's where we have thoughts when we're showering.
Oh,
I'm not talking about those thoughts.
No,
I'm talking about the thoughts where you're like, bing, I need to do this in 3 days, or blah blah blah. Like, you start solving things because you're doing what they call a non-cognitive task. Right? Driving is the same thing. You're doing the thing that your brain knows how to do.
And you're also busy of the same thing. You're also thinking of 3 different things you want to do it.
Right? So it allows you to just do it, and then you're able to I can relax and think about things. And now I've solved all of these things that I had been too busy otherwise to do. So anyway, coloring was a thing. And then pandemic-wise, I think when people were down at home and they needed something to do, it also kind of came back a lot as well.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it kept people busy. There was so much despair and sadness and scariness in the world. To have something like that people could lean on, and everybody was trying to stay busy and keep focused, and to have something like Coloring Broadway, and to also make that happen. Something we didn't have in theater at the time, and to also have that coloring. I know it relaxed a lot of people, and helped a lot of people, and so I just think it's so terrific, and it's helping so many people. And I know it was founded and focused on mindfulness, right? Mindfulness coloring. And I know it's always been about that, but you were saying to me recently that you're trying to also get back to sort of that center of mindfulness. Is that with the coloring, correct?
Yeah, I mean, with any business, and this is the fun part of when people go, oh, you do a thing, you should try it into a business. And then you realize, how much work that actually is. So for the first few years, we were very focused. By we, I mean me, myself, the other me, and the 15 other me's that wear 5, 10, 20 different hats doing. But I was very focused on like building products and being able to like set up the infrastructure to sell the products and to promote the products and the website and the thing and all of the things. Which have you kind of step back from maybe the purpose and writing the cool mindfulness activities and talking about the way because you're so focused on the products. So I tried to keep my balance. So what I wanted to do now is starting to come back to our goal that business. What moves you about this journey? What moves you
Every day.
The everyday thing. Like, you know, when you sit and show, why you seem to look at 15,000, right? And I say that because I know a lot of people think, look at but I saw waitress 11, 12, 13, I don't know how many I lost count. But I know why. Like, waitress speaks to me in a way that no other music has. About things that resonate with me that I still have to work in myself. So it brings up stuff and I'm like, ooh. And each time I feel it differently and I find something new.
That's been a way. It's like 10 times for me, I think. Maybe it never gets old and it just is beautiful. Now, as you know, we were talking about all of that. We were talking about going to Broadway. We're here at the Broadway Makers Marketplace. One of the fabulous things is you are also one of the co-founders of Broadway Makers Marketplace. So how did you get involved with Broadway Makers Marketplace as a co-founder? And what has that experience been like? As I said when I first started, this was only supposed to be a month, and here we are celebrating 6 months.
Well, I mean, it goes back to, let me put one of those other hats on because, you know, I can't just do one thing. I can't have a job and a business. I have to have a job and 3 businesses. But they're all fueled by this passion, like being an enthusiast for Broadway. And so with that, 5 years ago, I went to Broadway Con, which was covering Broadway to Broadway Con, and we met a whole bunch of other people who were doing the same thing as we were. And in that connection, we met Jen from Scenery Bags. I may even have met Michael from Broadway Bazaar at that point, but we didn't reconnect until later on. But with these connections, we discovered the need for an alliance, some way to like connect. Here we all are. We are not business people. We don't know what we're doing. We are learning every day about all the things that we didn't know. So we created the Broadway Makers Alliance as a place for makers who've taken their passion for Broadway and turned it into something product-driven to connect, to network, to use each other as a resource, to educate. And we always wanted to have a physical store. We wanted to take it online. We wanted to create the Etsy, but for Broadway theater, band-driven merchandise. But none of us had the time because we all have jobs and side hustles and side hustles and the side hustle. So, give me that eye. I know it.
It's a side hustle.
It's
just like that.
It's just hustle. Is what it is. And so with that, we when Broadway Con went virtual last year, I believe. And I get years like what is time these days?
Especially.
But so we just finished Broadway Con in 2020. We didn't actually do anything down. We knew that Broadway Con wasn't going to be in person in 2021, and they postponed it. We did a virtual. They were doing a virtual Makers Marketplace, and one of the things we want is actually getting to be in touch, see the stuff. Like in the shop, the best thing is to have people come in and go, "Oh my God, it's the stuff that I didn't know that I needed to have in my life. I don't want to leave." And so we missed that. Broadway Con was virtual, and we decided, hey, and I met Michael like 48, 72, maybe 4 days before the thing, and in that period of time, we put together the after hours virtual Broadway Makers Marketplace. And we had like 150 to 200 people attend within. Oh my God, it was so last minute. It was so, we pulled out all the stuff. I don't think we slept for 4 days. And we had guests, we had brilliant performances. We didn't have bingo, but we had bingo and trivia and all of this stuff. And it was, this was the little one. You did a little bit of it. And so it was so fun to do, and it created a new platform for us, and we didn't know how long the pandemic was going to last. So we thought, why don't you see and test this out again? We did one in July, which went well, and then Michael kept poking me. Poke. Because he's around here. I'm going to poke him right back. But he kept poking me and saying, hey, real estate is not a bad thing, and there's this thing, and I've been looking around, and what about an in-person shop? And I was like, I don't know about that. That's a lot. I live in Seattle. If you don't know, I don't live in New York, even though I'm here a lot.
She will, though.
I will.
We want her here.
All right, well, the pole is here, the magnet.
Yes.
But so Michael finally presented me with a couple of things. He had talked to a number of different places that we could go, and he came to me and said, "Hey, the Turnstyle Underground Market is a great place. It has this space. It's really reasonable. What do you say we do a pop-up for Christmas?" And so we really were only supposed to be here for November. We opened October 31st was our preview. And we did November and December. We were supposed to close in January. And he keeps calling me and he's like, well, actually, I think we get to stay another month and then another month. And now it's 6 months. I like to have been here 6 months and to watch the fans discover it every day is just, it warms my heart a lot.
It's really heartwarming. I mean, even the few times I'll stop by during the week to say hello, and when I set up my show, just to see, as you said, the fans who, it's what they wish they had. Michael has said to people, this is the thing we wish he had when he was in high school. And I feel like that we can all relate to that. We all wish this was something we had when we were, the age of people who, everybody loves theater, but especially those young kids who now have this, especially.
Well, and I think the thing with theater fans, theater fans just want to reconnect with the shows that move them. Right. So go back to the early part of the conversation, where it's like we connect with these shows. They speak to us in ways that maybe we can't even articulate, right? But we go back. You would come from away, me with Waitress, and some others that I've got to see a number of times. But we just keep going back because they speak to our souls, right? And the merchandise are little ways for us to keep that inner. Like I have my Be More Chill Red Solo cup on my desk that I work from and I see every day, and it just makes me smile when I look at it, right? So the thing with all of the merch in the shop is it's a way for theater kids to reconnect with theater kids of all ages. All ages, yes. It is not an actual age.
Yes,
it is a mentality. But it's a way for theater kids to reconnect with those stories that move them and to have that little piece of thing, little piece of the show with them that they resonate with. It's also a great way when you see that person walking down the street that's got the 80 counts pin on their lapel, and you're like, I see you, yes. Right? Like it's a great resonant thing of ooh, hey, the theater nerd in me recognizes the theater nerd in you, get a little nod going on, and you pass, but you have a friend. Exactly. Right? Yes. You don't know them, but you have a friend. You have a friend, exactly. You have a friend, as Carol King says. Yes. And, what, if you had to, in your mind, for an individual, what is the future of the Broadway Makers Marketplace for you, or even the near future, if you had an idea of what you would like to do? Well, there's always reality, right? It's a day-to-day thing, and we make decisions based on what we're capable of doing. If I had my druthers, I would absolutely love to see it continue. And Michael and I have been talking about what the future holds. I would love to see an actual dedicated physical division. Not that I don't love the underground person, or even a place in here. But the point is obviously a block that has been converted. It was supposed to be a pop-up shop. If we stay here, maybe it's a regeneration of what it looks like here. If we are able to move somewhere else, but I would like to have us in a shop that we can stay for a good long time. That's the dream, right? The reality is we will work month to month and see what we can do. all I can say is that the support of the fans, like everybody who's like, hey, we saw you on TikTok. Like, A, thank you for watching TikTok and coming to see us. But like, the more fans come, the more they support, the more we create this community, and the longer we can stay here. But I do have to give props because I am super business and product focused. And what Michael brings to the marketplace is that drive to create engagement, is that drive to have events like recording this with Josh Tricia, having his podcast recorded here, like karaoke nights, like he hosts coloring afternoons for me. Thank you, Coloring Broadway really loves that. But like all of his reaching out to people beyond, really just like create excitement. I would love like picture the drama bookshop with theater merchandise like this and a cafe like they have and a little movie performance space where we could have like some chairs set up to like have karaoke night or performance or things. So if you're looking for like my big hairy audacious dream, it would be like somewhere in the mix. Like if the drama bookshop was having the by fans for fans space, like that would be cool to be in the drama bookshop on the front. But like outside of that, if we could create a space where people could come and have a coffee and sit and know that there's going to be karaoke and a place for them to have a sing along or watch a movie or a movie musical. But like that would be amazing.
I absolutely love that dream. I think it's incredible. Reach for the stars, and anyone watching who's in real estate or knows anyone here in the city, you hear it.
We are not opposed to people.
Yeah, we
work with us.
Yeah.
We can't. We know honestly. We know that we can't do this alone.
Yeah.
Right.
So
This is a community effort, and it's community driven, and it's fan driven. Like all of us here who have products in the store are all fans.
as well. So now is our trivia time, and for the behind the camera, if anybody who's watching, you'd like to partake, you can. Andrea, you're also welcome to play as well. This is I'm giving away 2 pairs of tickets to That Golden Girls show, a puppet parody, which is now here off Broadway in New York City. So you have to be in New York City or New York City local, and it runs until the end of the month. It's really exciting. And for those online, whoever answers, I'll reach out because I'll get your email. So the first question that we have here is, what character in Hamilton sings The Room Where It Happens? What character in Hamilton sings the popular song The Room Where It Happens? Andrea?
I mean, I kind of know, but like I don't get tickets for things outside of this way.
Two. It's Aaron Burr, sir. Yes.
He wants to be.
Yes, it is. It's Aaron Burser. That is correct. Amazing, amazing. And we have one more question here. And again, the peanut gallery watching can answer, or those online. Finally, what club does Sally Bowles perform at in a cabaret? What is the name of the club that Sally Bowles performs at in Cabaret musical? What? I will give you a hint. It's named after a popular candy. Yes.
Kit Kat Club.
The Kit Kat Club. Yes, the Kit Kat Club is proud to present the fun. Yes, it is the Kit Kat Club. Thank you. You also win a pair of tickets to the Golden Girls puppet parody. I'm so excited. I'm going to be there tomorrow. Invite me for opening night, so I can't wait. They are incredible. They were really popular when they were here before COVID, so they're back for a month.
Now, I mean, who doesn't love?
I know, and in puppet form, I mean, come on, this is pretty cool. Now, you had mentioned earlier you're more of the sort of business, the brain side of everything. And what I would love to know, what is your advice for small business entrepreneurs, whether it's in the creative space or they have an idea they want to take and maybe put it on an Etsy, or even to create from a business perspective, what would be the advice that you would give for entrepreneurs?
I mean, do we have a full hour or two? Because there's lots of advice. But one of the things I would have them sit down with is how much time do you really want to spend pursuing this? Because there is the beautiful part of creating this awesome, cool marketing thing that we're doing, and there is a lot of back end admin So don't be afraid of it. If you can keep a curious mind and just be like, all right, what do I need to learn? Because there's a lot. But if you can keep that sort of curious, like, all right, I can figure it out. What do I need to know next? What do I need to know next? If you can keep that curiosity to putting it together, that's going to help you stay longer. And then also it is to not listen to what anybody else tells you what to do. It really is to keep it what you want it, because as soon as somebody hears that you have a business, you know what you should do, Rye? You should so many sentences start with you should just. You know what you should just do is follow what you want to do. Know what your product is, know what your vision is, and then find ways to help get that out. And that doesn't mean not taking advice. It doesn't mean not talking to people about what you're doing to figure it out. But it also means like really sitting down with yourself and having that clear vision of what you want to put into the world. Because the world needs that. It doesn't mean that you should just, it means what you want to bring to the world. And then I should listen to my own advice and sit with that more often, right? Like,
but isn't that the truth to me? Because I'm that same way. I'm like, you know, I say it and then I don't take my own advice. Or don't worry about it. It's all good, don't worry. And you're sitting here and you've got your head. So I get that. It's easier, as I said, easier said than done. But I wish I could sit by
which I think that's part of it. Is like, if there's one piece of advice I could give, is to wrap it up, which I'm getting to think. But if there's one piece of advice I could give, it's like, just know what you're getting into.
Yes.
Right? Know that it's going to be a bigger push than you think it is, and that's okay. But it is a bigger thing. You're getting married, right? You got to marry your business.
And finally, before we finish up here, what would be some final thoughts you'd like to leave? Is there anything that I didn't get to touch on, or anything that you want to plug as we finish up here?
No, just I would love to have people come visit us at Coloring Broadway. It's coloringbroadway.com or at Coloring Broadway on Instagram. Someday we'll be on TikTok more. But with that, also, if you have pictures and have colored anything, we would love to see it. Like, it makes me so super happy. But the only other thing I end with is I love to see your journey. I'm so glad that you are continuing to pursue what you want. And this is really about the love of the theater and what stories and musicals make us feel, how they lift us up, how they allow us to see ourselves through different lenses. And that's really, for me, what this is all about.
It really is. Well, Andrea, thank you so much. This means the world. And before we close out, I just want to give you, for the month of May, some exciting upcoming guests. Next week, we have the incredible Jonathan Hoover, known as Inappropriate Patty, the viral theater sensation. He takes on Patty LaPone in roles that she could have played, should play, and he sounds scarily like her in the best way possible. I can't wait to have him. He's going to be performing. Following week, on May 15th, we have the incredible Joey Contreras, who is a singer-songwriter and the composer of In Pieces, the new musical, which is taking the world by storm. And finally, on May 22nd, we have Maggie Stiggers and Spiro Marcos, who are the writers of Dear Future Producer, the book. They're also podcast hosts. They're going to be talking all about being a producer, a creative, being a part of Radio Free Brooklyn, podcast host, and so much more. So you don't want to miss it. And I will say this, in June, not going to say who, but let's just say we have some cast members from Hamilton and Mrs. Doubtfire. So thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. I cannot wait to see you again next week. And thank you so much for this. Is Live with Rye Friends on Broadway. Thanks so much, everyone. Have a great week.
Thanks, Rye.
Thank you, Andrea.